Borngasse 20, an unassuming house in Bonn's old town. But here in the backyard, in a small attic room, on December 17th, 1770, one of the most extraordinary musical careers in history began.
Picture this. Young Ludwig played right here in this backyard. His father, Johann, a musician himself, recognized his son's talent early on. But he wanted more. He wanted a second child prodigy, another Mozart. Day after day, hour after hour, little Ludwig had to practice. His father was strict, often drunk. Neighbors reported hearing the child crying at night while sitting at the piano. But this harsh treatment also laid the foundation for Ludwig's later discipline. At just 7 years old, he gave his first public concert. His father fudged the age, presenting him as only 6. Today I'm highlighting the last 100 bars of the Second Symphony, starting with a wonderful passage from bar 338. The strings begin pianissimo, almost shyly. Then this walking bass. Beethoven lets the cellos and double basses take a stroll, step by step, while above them the violins dance like sunbeams. The first flute dabs little melodic fragments on top, like birds in spring. And then from bar 3, 5, 7, the dynamics drop to pianissimo. Everything becomes even more transparent. This is chamber music in the middle of a symphony. For you aspiring composers, Ludwig shows us that joy doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes it's a quiet dance, a mischievous smile, a walk in the sunlight. Remember this when you're writing. Contrast is everything. At 17, Ludwig traveled to Vienna for the first time, the music capital of Europe. He was meant to study with Mozart. Picture this. The young man from Bonn meets the greatest composer of his time. Mozart reportedly said, after hearing him play,
Gebt Acht auf den, der wird einmal der Welt etwas zu sagen haben.
But then came the news. His mother was dying. Beethoven rushed back to Bonn.
With his mother's death in 1787, Ludwig became the de facto head of the family at just 17. His father sank into alcoholism and Ludwig had to care for his younger brothers. He had to earn money and somehow to advance his career.
In other words, he suddenly had a lot on his plate.
Now things get really wild in a coda. Listen to this. Ludwig throws all conventions out of the window here. These sforzandi, these sudden accents, they come out of nowhere. Unthinkable in a classical symphony. But Ludwig, he He makes his own rules.
1792. Beethoven returns to Vienna. This time for good. He studies with Haydn, makes a name for himself as a piano virtuoso. The nobility can't get enough of him. But then, around 1798, it begins. A buzzing in his ears. At first he ignores it, but it gets worse. Beethoven, the piano virtuoso, is going deaf.
Imagine this. You live for music and then fate takes away exactly that. Your hearing. In 1802, while working on a second symphony, Ludwig writes his Heiligenstädter Testament, a farewell letter to his brothers that he never sends.
O ihr Menschen, die ihr mich für feindselig, störrisch oder misanthropisch haltet oder erkläret. Wie Unrecht tut ihr mir! Ihr wisst nicht die geheime Ursache von dem, was euch so scheinet. Mein Herz und mein Sinn waren von Kindheit an für das zarte Gefühl des Wohlwollens. Selbst große Handlungen zu verrichten, dazu war ich immer aufgelegt. Aber bedenket nur, dass seit 6 Jahren ein heilloser Zustand mich befallen, durch unvernünftige Ärzte verschlimmert. Von Jahr zu Jahr in der Hoffnung, gebessert zu werden, betrogen, endlich zu dem Überblick eines dauernden Übels, dessen Heilung vielleicht Jahre dauern wird oder gar unmöglich ist, gezwungen. Mit einem feurigen, lebhaften Temperamente geboren, selbstempfänglich für die Zerstreuungen der Gesellschaft, musste ich früh mich absondern, einsam mein Leben zubringen. Wollte ich auch zuweilen mich einmal über alles das hinaussetzen, oh wie hart wurde ich durch die verdoppelte traurige Erfahrung meines Gehörs dann zurückgestoßen. Und doch war es mir noch nicht möglich, den Menschen zu sagen, sprecht lauter, schreit, denn ich bin taub.
And now here's the incredible part. In this darkest hour, Ludwig composes his second symphony. And listen to this coda. These last 20 bars, this is pure rage for life. Not rage at life, but rage for life. He hammers the D major chord as if to tell fate, you won't get me.
From this unassuming house in Bonn to the concert halls of the world, what a journey! Beethoven's Second Symphony reminds us, great art doesn't emerge in a vacuum. It comes from life itself, with all its ups and downs. For us musicians today, that's an important lesson. Creativity often emerges precisely in crisis. Beethoven shows us you can stand up to fate and give it a run for its money.
In the next episode of Listen to Ludwig, we will look at the Eroica, the symphony that changed everything. Until then, listen to Ludwig, but listen closely.